I'm your host, Rob. This video, we're going to do another Walking Dead discussion. We're going to ask the question, are we going to get answers to some of the questions from the first half of Season 4? Okay, guys, welcome back. So, there were a lot of things that happened in the first half that we didn't get any conclusion to. One of the things is who's feeding the rats. Now, many people are assuming that it was Lizzie. That's possible. There was also the dissected animal in the prison. I think it was another rat, or it might have been a rabbit or something along those lines. And that happened right before the governor attacked. Tyrese had found it. Some of the other things that I'm curious about is the sanctuary. Remember, we heard the announcement on the radio when Daryl and the crew went to get some meds at the school, and there was the message on the radio that said something along the lines of, "Those who arrive survive." And I definitely am very interested to see what that's all about, because some people have speculated it could be the Alexandria safe zone, but I don't think we're gonna get there yet. And I'm wondering if this is gonna be a short safe haven for the group, and maybe that's how they all reunite. Maybe they all find it. So that's going to be interesting as well. The other thing is when we're going to see Carol. Now, I'm hearing another rumor I've heard is that Carol is supposed to run into Tyrese. And when I heard about this, the cogs in my head were spinning, because here's an interesting thing. He doesn't know that she killed Karen. She's well aware that Karen and Tyrese were a couple, and I think it'll be interesting seeing them together, because in the comic they were a couple. And wouldn't it be some twisted writing if Carol and Tyrese, during their time together in the second half, hooked up? Could you imagine? That would be crazy, because that at some point or another, when the group gets back together and Carol's there and things of that nature, and this is a speculation, of course. This is, they're probably not going to go that route, but I'm just thinking outside of the box here. If they had ended up hooking up before they got back with the group, and they got back with the group, and Tyrese somehow finds out that now the new woman he might love, or the new woman he's with, is ended up killing the other woman he loved, man, that would be some crazy shit. So now, in terms of the rats, I'm still not 100% convinced it was Lizzie, but it kind of looks more and more like that's the case. Now, I still think there's a chance that Lizzie might have killed Karen as well as Dave, even though she's not strong enough to drag the bodies. I'm guessing that maybe Carol and her worked together to do it, because think about how easily Lizzie killed that woman during the war at the prison. She popped her in the head like it was nothing, like it was second nature. So I don't necessarily disagree when people think that Lizzie might have been involved in that murder along with Carol. I think Carol was her accomplice, but I think for training purposes, I think Carol might have been the one to guide her into killing them. So that's a lot of questions from the first half that are still unanswered. The sanctuary, who was feeding the rats, who dissected the animal. What kind of reaction are we going to see after Herschel's death? Another thing I wanted to mention too was I know that I spoke about episode 9 in my last video, and one thing I forgot to mention, and I want to bring it up here, was I think I figured out what it is they were referring to when I was talking about the Comic-Con panel, and Rick, or rather Andrew Lincoln, mentioning how he called Greg Nicotero to tell him that people were going to be upset. And I think it's because we're going to see a scene, perhaps, where somebody has to put a knife or put something through Herschel's head. Because remember, the governor cut off his head and left it there. Nobody put him down. So I think it's going to be a very bleak reminder if we have to revisit the prison to see somebody put Herschel down for good. So that's another question. Are we going to see the final hammer, or the final nail in the coffin, so to speak, for Herschel? So a lot of interesting things. The sanctuary, definitely. Obviously, there's more characters coming in. I said I don't think they could do another death, but the rumor mill once again is spreading that there is going to be another major character death. I just don't know. I don't know. It's going to be crazy. But those are definitely some questions I think we need answers to. The rats, the dissected animal, Carol and how that's going to work out with Tyrese, if they do in fact meet up together, and the sanctuary. Where is the sanctuary? Are we going to see it? Are we going there? Is it Alexandria safe zone? Is it not? You know, February 9th cannot come quick enough. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Just wanted to kind of keep it pretty short and get right to the point on what we can expect for the next half of the season in terms of some of the things we were shown in the first half, but not necessarily concluded. So that's it. I'll see you next video. Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. I'm your host, Rob. This video, we're going to do another Walking Dead discussion. We're going to ask the question, are we going to get answers to some of the questions from the first half of Season 4? Okay, guys, welcome back. So, you know, there were a lot of things that happened in the first half that we didn't get any conclusion to. One of the things is who's feeding the rats. Now, many people are assuming that it was Lizzie. You know, that's possible. There was also the dissected animal in the prison.